Hey everybody, Matty here again. I'm back in my normal spot. Well, this ain't gonna be my normal spot. You'll see me in random spots. This is one of my most frequent ones. I gotta stop pivoting though. I have to stay in a very neutral position so you can't tell where the fuck I am because I can get in trouble for that shit. But anyway, what was missed out on that I didn't cover in yesterday's video was I went to therapy for the first time. It's good. My therapist seems pretty solid. I'm comfortable there. That's all you can really look for. So that went well. General fucking rundown bullshit on my life. You know, who my siblings were, how they are to me. Like I have 4 half sisters, mother, father, nieces, nephews, stuff like that. How childhood was like growing up. Not good. What happened in adolescence, defining moments, being molested, stuff like that, and early adulthood, like when I was living in South Boston, life in the service. Kind of up to speed where I'm at now when I get sober, how sobriety's been going, how my life is now, talking about my daughter, my ex-fiance, my girlfriend, rental properties, work, stuff like that. It was only about 45 minutes, so if you're, and I didn't have to disclose to her that anything I didn't want to talk about. She did ask me what I wanted to work on, and it was acceptance. I've talked about acceptance over the past, how to not have my past life define my present life, and, if it's defining my present life, it's going to impact my future life. And I don't want that. I want a happy, joyous, and free life in the future where, nothing's going to really give me too many problems internally in my head. Life's always going to have problems. You're going to owe tax collectors. You're going to be late on bills, be juggling in between jobs. Life happens. But I mostly wanted to talk about that because that was the first time I've ever spoken to a therapist. When I was in the service, I talked to a chaplain. I've been on retreats. I've talked to deacons, priests. That was more spirituality, not life stuff, and how I feel and how my head works, how things correspond to each other. Big thing going to therapy. I've talked about this before. My view on mental health was, you should be mentally strong enough to handle your own shit. Like, it's your choice if you fucking snap on somebody. Like, I've had my girlfriend grab my ass, and I get pissed. And that's from being molested, and that's not her fault. And I can't be taking a past experience and projecting it on her, because then it makes her feel that blame. And it's not her fault. Same token, it's not my fault. But I've always viewed it as I should be mentally strong enough to handle that reaction, to not react like that. And that's not the case because, you have a thought. She grabbed me. I had a thought about the past, and then I felt about the past, and then I reacted to the feeling. That's how it goes. It's thought, feeling, action. Thoughts, you can't control what pops in your head. If you're in a good mood, you're going to get different thoughts, but like having PTSD and gone through stuff like that, I can't really expect to control my thoughts. Same with feelings. You feel how you feel. If you're angry, let yourself be angry. Don't fucking hold on to it and say, I'm angry now. This is who I am. But if you're upset, be upset. If you're happy, be happy. It's the actions I struggle with because I'm very reactive. I'm a reactive person. 90% of the time, I'm very calm. I can hear people. I can meet them where they're at. My past isn't really banging into me too hard. No pun intended. I make horrible jokes about being raped and molested. It's not good. But yeah, that's a big thing I wanted to talk about was she asked me my goals in therapy. It's not a sobriety thing. I've been sober. It'll be 5 years in January. And I'm proud of that. And I struggle sometimes. I want to use sometimes. It's not going to change anything in my life. It's probably going to make it worse. I'm allergic. I break out in handcuffs, fucking pepper spray hives, taser marks. I've had police split my head open, break my bones. Using does not do anything for me. Sorry, one moment. Love me some Gatorade. But I was very nervous. When I get overly nervous, my leg starts to shake real fast. I have trouble speaking. I actually, when I was younger, I had a speech impediment. I had a stammer. And that starts to come out. So it was very hard for me just sitting in the waiting room or even I had to drive 45 minutes to get to this place. It was the soonest anybody could see me. I was looking at a 3-month wait. And I've been waiting long enough. I haven't been wanting to go, but I've been wanting to go for about 2 months. And it was time. The shit that happened that resulted in me living in the RV was a direct result of me not taking care of my mental health. And I have issues. I have multiple issues with mental health. And anybody looking to go to therapy for the first time, don't be scared. The first time is like, they don't know who the fuck you are. They don't know what they're trying to work on. They don't know anything. You can go in there and blatantly lie about everything to your fucking therapist if you want. It defeats the purpose. Like, don't do that. But you don't have to disclose anything. You can just tell them, like, I struggle with anxiety, or sometimes I get depressed and I want to work on that. And build up to the reasons why and how they correlate. I'm diving right in. I have no problem telling this lady everything about me. This confidentiality, I signed a form. She said she can't even report past crimes. And there are some out there that if I were picked up on and they knew it was me and could prove, I would go to prison. The statute of limitations hasn't run out. I feel comfortable with this lady. That's a lot about what it is. The feel of the office we were in. How comfortable I was sitting in the couch. How comfortable I was with who she was as a person. What she was spitting off. Her answers. I'm not into... I don't need a male therapist. I don't need a female therapist. I just need a person I can be comfortable with. So a lot of it, she got some background information on me, kind of what she's going to prepare herself for next session, so next Friday. That's what she got out of it. She didn't know my life story. She doesn't know my deepest, darkest secrets. Yucky shit I did in the past. Just a general idea of what I have to work on and a brief history of my life. That was it. I got more out of it than she did. I answered any question she wanted. I talked unprovoked, like I was just talking. Trying to iron things out, say things the right way, make sure everything I told her happened in the right timeline. That's what she got out of it. She got a general idea of what I've been through and where I want to be. What I got out of it is I got a feel for the building to start off with. Like, if you go up to a place and the building's fucking falling apart, you're going to start feeling a little uneasy. The building was very well kept. I went in there, the waiting room was nice and open. They had some white noise machines going on. There was plenty of magazines and books. And there was just a sign that says, please be seated, someone will be right with you. And at 12 o'clock, when it was my appointment, she came out. She said, oh, are you Matt? And I said, oh, yes, I am. She introduced herself. Very strong first impression, made eye contact. We went into the office, sat down. I sat on the couch, she sat in her chair. And I just sat there. She had no problem making eye contact with me. I just felt very comfortable with her. She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't attractive. She was very average, so I have an issue with lust. I'm faithful to a fucking fault. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, that's it. I'm in a relationship with them. The first year or so of my relationship with my ex was a fucking spectacular year. It really was. I loved her. And 3 years after that, it kind of got really rocky. It was good for a little while when my daughter was born, but it was rocky, and I was faithful to her the whole time. So I don't cheat, but I'll still lust. I'll still get the feelings, and I don't like the feelings of lust. I'm after healthy, romantic sexual relationship, or a healthy sexual relationship. One partner. I'm monogamous. That's who I am. And so that was nice. I didn't have any weird, man, I would fuck that therapist. I didn't have any of that going on, which is kind of big for me. Because those thoughts will start kind of consuming me, and I've been in positions where I make people uncomfortable because you can clearly tell that's what I'm thinking about. I try not to show it, but you can kind of tell, and I have a very, flirtatious personality. I attract really good women. That's good. Courtney's fucking spectacular. She really is. She's fucking real down to earth, and it's nice. And but I flirt. She's even pointed out to me I flirt with people. It's not like I'm not trying to go out with them or fucking fuck them or anything like that. I just flirt. I don't know if it's fun for me or I'm just comfortable with females, being raised around 4 women. I know that's part of it. I grew up with all girls. I was never into sports. In school, I didn't have many friends, but the ones I did were usually female. It was just always a comfort thing for me to be around females. So I like being around females. But those thoughts are still in my head. I'm human. I'm a man. What do you call those? The chemicals in my brain and my fucking body. My testosterone runs the show for me. That's just what a man is. But I have conscious thought because I'm a human. And so they don't really battle each other. It just, they both coexist with each other. I know I would never cheat on Courtney. Ever. And I never cheated on Jess. I wasn't in many relationships before that. But I don't cheat. I know that. The thoughts will run through my head, but I don't cheat. But anyway, for anybody wondering about going to therapy, it wasn't really that bad the first time. It was a rundown. It's like general questions. I learned I was comfortable with her. She seemed to be comfortable around me, because you don't want to be with a therapist who's uneasy around you. That can happen. A professional won't let it happen, but it can happen. But it was nice. I got to gauge her. I'm going to give it 2 more sessions to really be certain if I want to keep following through with this. This was nice. I told her to direct bill me. I'm not struggling with money. I just actually finished texturing a ceiling. Courtney cleaned me up good, but I still got a little bit of joint compound here and there. Texturing a ceiling, they used a paint roller, and she was just going ahead of me, troweling it on real thick. And I was hitting it with the paint roller and spreading it out, and it came out with a nice uniform texture, but it's not exactly the one we want. We want one a little more spiky, a little more textured, if that makes sense, like pops a little more. And we found out towards the end, thicker batch. We used quickset joint compound mix, and we figured out we got special buckets so we can mix it the same every time, and throw it on thick, hit it once with the roller. Fucking beautiful, done. That's about where I'm at with the therapy. No real arguments with Courtney, no arguments with my ex, so that's good. I'm going to be going to see my daughter tomorrow. I didn't make it up there today because I knew I was working on the house, so that's really all I got going. Other than that is really fucking good night last night, but if Courtney ever stumbles upon the videos, I don't want to be saying too much. I don't want to be revealing too much. That's why I have to be very careful about my last name, because I have already disclosed my daughter's first name in a video, and what's said is said. This is like a video journal for me. I don't want to disclose my last name, because then you'll be able to find out my daughter's last name, my ex's last name, my current girlfriend's name. I don't want any of that. You'll be able to find out who my family is. I don't want that. This is just about me, and it's about you. But I do have, what was the other thing I want to talk about? I should probably take notes, but I don't know if you can tell. Like I said, there's nobody really watching these videos yet, or ever, possibly, but if you do, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell pretty quick I'm bipolar. Sometimes I will be very energetic and happy and fucking everything's fucking awesome. I can take everything on. That's very much how I am right now. I just had a great morning with Courtney that contributes to it. I slept well last night. And some days I'll be a little low, be a little lethargic. When it's at real lows, that's when you probably won't see a video for that day, because I don't see why I can't make a 20-minute video summing up my life. This is kind of cool. Be cool for my own well-being to look back if I do it every day and be like, oh, I want to see what I did where I was at 4 months ago. Engage it. I wish I did this my whole sobriety, because there's a lot of hard things I had to do, a lot of physical therapy for walking again, surgeries, dialysis, coming to terms with repressed memory. I had no knowledge of actually being molested and raped until I was about 2 years sober, and I remembered it. So I had to deal with that. It would have been kind of cool to see how I dealt with it and how my mind started processing and working. But I'll have that now. I can't believe my daughter's going to be fucking 2 years old next month. I was eating out of dumpsters 5 years ago. And a beautiful 2-year-old. She's so fucking smart. And my fiance's doing well. Her boyfriend seems to be a real solid guy. Ex-fiance. Boyfriend seems to be a really fucking solid guy. We talk back and forth, like, not overly. There's no reason for over-communication. I don't really need to fill her in on what's going on with my life. I do a little bit to an extent, but that is more just we live separate lives now. We're not integrated that much. We're very much integrated, everything about Emma. And I feel that will make my girlfriend a little more comfortable. You know, if I'm just sitting there nonstop fucking texting my ex, especially after all that, what happened, she's going to be uncomfortable with it. I don't want that. She is uncomfortable with it anyway, just because of what happened. But that was the thing leading up to when I fucking had my little meltdown and ended up in the RV. I hadn't directly talked to my ex in 4 months. There's nothing, no communication. Like, her boyfriend was upstairs and she kind of told him to leave. Like, there's no communication. I think my ex was more surprised than my girlfriend was. No, that's not true. That's a lie. But I don't know, that's just kind of where my head's at now. I'm at work, my booth. Birds flying in the background. I got a couple Gatorades, a Monster, some chewing tobacco, because I can smoke whenever the fuck I want. Nobody's here. Not one other person is here for the next 8 hours. So I can do whatever. You know, I might fucking come up with some fucking random topic to talk about and double post or pre-record or something. I don't fucking know. I aim it mostly just sit here and watch videos on my phone. I want to bring a notebook and start writing, because writing does help me. But anyway, my brain is still very scattered. When I'm a little more collected and I've been working my program for a little longer, I'll be able to actually keep coherent conversation. It's added difficulty because I'm doing it to a camera. I look off a lot and it's not very good. But if you're concerned about going to a therapist, I was nervous. I put it off for a real long time because I didn't feel like I needed the help, or I was weak if I accepted the help. And I was very nervous. I was having anxiety going in. And by the time I got out, I was like, that was actually easier than I thought. It wasn't really that bad. I might have got lucky. I might have walked into the right person's office. It's a lot of trial and error. Same with medications you take. There's trial and error. Some medications work for some people, some don't. Some combinations are better than others. You have to just try. So after 2 sessions or so, if I'm still unsure, I'll go a little bit more. If I still feel comfortable and like she's guiding me the way I need to be guided, because she's not going to tell me anything. She's a good therapist. She won't tell me anything. She'll help me kind of see it myself. I'm sure she already knows a lot about me because it's her profession. It's her job to know. But I'm sure she can tell me a lot about myself already. But it doesn't matter if I don't feel it and I don't believe it and I don't come to that myself. So we'll see where it goes. She was very nice to me though. I do work for myself. She knows that. We talked about that, and it's not stable. I don't work every day for myself. Sometimes I do odd jobs for other people. Sometimes I do jobs for myself. I'm not struggling with money, which is really nice. I like not struggling with money. I still stress about it, but I don't struggle with it, so that's good. But I am on state-funded health insurance, and I know I have health insurance through them. I've kind of always had it, and she's like, well, I was like, you can just bill me, because I didn't bring the health insurance number. I didn't have a health insurance card, and I was like, you can just bill me for the first time. I got my first doctor's appointment in 10 years. It's next Thursday. Big month for me. So I can get my insurance number then, and you can just bill them from then on out. If not, I'll just pay for it out of pocket. It'll only be $300 a month. Like, that's okay. I can cover that. I can find a way. That's sometimes that's one job. Just one job, a couple hours, I can make that. So it's not a real big deal to me. I'm viewing everything, and I do everything in 3 months increments when I budget, because I keep a cushion in my bank account. So I literally will have 3 months to make 3 months worth of money. So if I make nothing in a month, it's okay, because I can recover in 2 months. It's not consistent, it's not stable, but it's working, so that's okay. And I save money. I don't really try to buy anything I can't. To me, the therapy is a worthwhile expense if it helps. If I feel like it's not helping, I can just stop going. Nobody's forcing me to go to therapy. There are resources out there. I could do it for half as much with an online therapist, but I'm looking for the intimate interaction. I don't want to be on a Skype call with a therapist, because they can't really read my full body language. I can't read theirs. Like, there might be delays, complications, whatever. I feel like it's just easier to be in an intimate environment, like close by. Like, they can actually feel how you're feeling sometimes. And I think it's working well. But therapy, up until probably a year ago, was a dead no for me. I started wondering, because I started meeting people that were also going to therapy. One of the guys I sponsor goes to therapy, and he loves it. He says that he fucking gets out of there feeling energized. I get that when I go to a detox and talk to people that are detoxing. I was just there last night. I'll be in another one Monday night. But I get that amped up, and he's like, it's almost like the same thing, and but it's me-centered. And he's like, sometimes throughout the entire week, I hold on to the feeling a little bit. So stuff like that got me curious. It was just a lot of fear and insecurity and self-doubt that I didn't go. And there's a lot of pain I feel from my past, so it's time to get over that pain. Stop letting the pain hold you back. Just try it out. You can try it with guidance counselors. You can try it with close friends. Like, just tell somebody something. Like, if you're feeling down, talk to somebody. They can help. Saying in the fellowship I'm in, if you got this big problem, and you share it with a person, it becomes a half. Share with another person, it's a third. Share with another person, it's a fourth. Share with another person, it's a fifth. And every good addict can handle a fifth. And that's funny to me, but I do try to do that rule of thumb. My goal is to call one other person in the program a day to either check on see how they're doing, talk to them about how I'm doing, just shoot the shit for a couple minutes. It helps, because sometimes I can call the right person and something comes out of my mouth that I wasn't prepared for it to come out of my mouth, and then it's all of a sudden I'm working on an issue that I didn't know it was there. That's happened. I've also called people that were having, in the middle of a fucking crisis, and I just so happened to call, so they talked to me and I'm able to help them out. I love that part of the program. Just, it's us helping each other, and we have good lives. I know a lot of people in real estate, lawyers, doctors. A ton of us are self-employed. We're fucking everywhere, and we're all living good lives. And the program will help me all it can, and I just feel I need the extra push with therapy. It's not for everybody, obviously. A 12-step program's not for everybody, but it's for me, and I think therapy will help me too. Been kicking around some ideas with a doctor I know, and also with my therapist, my girlfriend, and my sponsor, about different medications that might help me, because I do think I need something too, at least for sleep. Sleeping 0 to 4 hours a night for the past 5 years. The only time I did it before that was when I was drinking, and I would just pass out, and that's not the same as a good night's sleep. But if you made it this far, talking to people will help you. I'm going to set up an email shortly, maybe this week anyway, if you want to email me stuff so people don't have to see it, or you need help with something. I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional. I do have a lot of gross life lessons, so there's a lot of things I can give you some type of advice on. It's better than nothing, it's free. All you did was just have to waste 22 minutes of your life watching this video. And that's it. And I will definitely be talking to you guys again tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good one.